What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and in today's video we're talking all about Edward and Alphonse Elric. We're going to be going in and seeing if those global buffs were enough to have everybody want to summon for them, or if it's only going to be us true fans. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're looking at my boys Ed and Alphonse Elric. We're going to look at, they're going to be NV, physical damage dealers, one side Earth, the other side a little bit of special stuff for you. Look at their TMR, it's two parts of one whole. Physical damage against demons 75%, increased attack 30% when equipped with a fist. Now, 75% demon killer is great. We just had an event with King Bahimi, they gave us some of those for free. And we didn't have the added benefit of a fist 30%, but we had some man-eater. And a lot of you guys have a ton of killers at this point anyway. This is going to help you guys when the new Tifa comes out. That may be strong for her. But other than that, it's not a TMR you guys have to chase after. It's not like, oh my gosh, if I miss that on this limited time banner, I'm screwed. Nah, you'll be okay, but it is very useful. Going to be the same thing for the STMR here. Winry's Earrings, attack 45, spirit 45, giving you fire, lightning, water, and earth resist by 50%. Going to be a great versatile STMR to throw in your team to make sure you get your elemental resist up and have some spirit to back you up so you live while not lacking on that attack that you may want. Very versatile STMR, but not something you have to have that's very unique. It's just very, very good. Solid, you know what I mean? Like generally solid. The vision card is actually not that great, giving you attack bonuses up, and then at the end, if you're an FMA Brotherhood character, going to give you guys LB 50%. The reason that's not that great is because the buffs we saw to Ed Al, they really don't need that extra added 50% LB damage. So I wouldn't even level that card up. It's a very cool looking card. FMA fans are going to love it, but it's not something worth going to ham for. Going through the abilities that Ed and Al have, we are going to be looking at this side, their normal side. Non-Brave Shift is going to be an Earth chainer, okay? They're going to have an Earth resist decrease in peril by 130%, which is going to be great for them. And then they have their Earth move where they do damage. They also get soul transmutation. They're going to hurt themselves, take 50% of their HP away, because they are transmuting their soul after all. But they increase everybody's attack and magic by 300% for 4 turns, increase their Earth physical damage by 50%, and their magic Earth damage by 50%. Absolutely bonkers buff here for your team. If you guys are doing earth damage, this is going to be fantastic. And there's a way we can look at their other form where you can make sure all of your units are doing earth damage. And that 50% is going to be quite nice when you're buffing up, as long as you can do earth damage well, you know what I mean? Like where you can do, like it's not resisted or whatever. We have focusing on surviving, increased defense by 150% for 3 turns to allies area. It's okay. I you know, whatever. It's just more defense so your team can survive. I'm sure you'll find uses for it, but it's not something to be like eyeballs are popping out of your head. When building Ed and Al, you're going to go true dual wield, and you're just going to let them go. They have demon, human, and stone killer 100%. Demon and humans, fantastic killers to have. Stone sometimes comes up too, so that's good. Again, in their kit, they've been buffed. They have a lot of LB damage passively, and they have a guts ability here. If we scroll on down, you can see that we do have different passives that activate after the first soul transmutation, where he buffs all your team by attack 300% and magic 300%. They can buff themselves, their attack by 300%, their LB damage, and then they also put up the elements damage for magic or physical by the elements here by 30% and increase their LB up by 50%. Now, this is great and all, but it's not really their true side of what you want to be doing. Look at their LB burst on this side. It's not as strong as it's going to be on the other side. Grant tag team attack for specific allies for 1 turn. I won't let anyone else get killed. Physical damage 100 times all enemies. Mitigate damage taken 70% for 3 turns and increase earth resist. So on this side, it's more of a, it's not really the huge like damage that you're probably looking for, but this is more of like the mitigation, the support if you want to use this LB. I would strongly suggest using the other LB, which is why we're going to switch over to the other side. And this is where Ed and Al shine, in my opinion. And while people who maybe aren't looking at them for a damage dealer, they should be looking at them for their support capabilities. Ed and Al are a unique unit that have the ability for fire, water, lightning, or earth. They have this ability for each, as you can see. It's going to imperil that element by 50%, and then it's going to remove all other like imbues that you have in your squad for all elements. So let's say the bad guy is, I absorb water, and you know how they always fuck you up by putting the water on your physical attacks or imbuing you with water? Ed and Al can get rid of that instantly and put whatever element out of these 4 that you want on your team, including earth, which is where we buffed that physical magic before by 50%, including earth, put it on your team, and increases their damage by 15%. as you can see, for that element. So like, even if it's not earth, we got the 50% before, you can get water, you can get lightning, you can get fire, and it does at least 15% to magic and physical. Not as big as 50%, but it's good. So again, Mastermind Zahn does a lot of this stuff for us here on Global that we like to use, right? He will, you know, you have to get rid of yourself, dispel yourself with the dispel trick, but then he can imbue everybody with his mirror. He can give everybody that high attack stat like we just talked about, or magic stat with 300%. He gets buffed, he spreads it to everybody else. But the difference between Zahn and then what we're going to have here with Ed and Al is Ed and Al actually do damage. They actually pump the damage super hard. They are insane. Now Zahn can spread killers, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But so after that, Zahn's kind of useless. Like, you either get the job done or Zahn just sits there. Ed and Al can do damage. They're not going to do the damage that we saw with, even with the buffs, that we see with Noctis, Arden, and Lunafreya. They're insane burst damage, but sustainable damage. Damage where you are chaining and you keep going and you don't kill the bosses like one go. They're actually rivaling them. I can't say the word. They rival them. That's a better one to use when it comes to that damage. So with their buffs, they're actually quite strong. And do not forget that they do have an LB that's super strong as a finisher. 2 hits, physical damage 145 times damage. And they have a way to buff up their LB damage here. Easy, just pop this and you have your LB damage up in battle. 250% attack, but hopefully we have the attack from the other one anyway, 300%, to be able to hit super hard. So I saw a comment on Reddit that said this is the lazy man's DV setup, because it's true. If you need to use fire, you literally go in there with a team, you have Ed and Al just put fire on everybody, buff up their fire, physical, or magic damage, and go ham. This guy is going to make setups much easier, or this unit, I guess it's 2 guys, is going to make DV setups much easier, and for someone who, like me, who doesn't really care for DV too much, it helps me out, so I don't have to work through all my equipment and all that crap that I hate doing in the first place. And again, they have damage to back it up. It's not like they don't have the damage, but sadly on this side, they do lose their 100% human and stone, but they get 200% against demons. They're going to do even more damage to demons when they're on this side, when you're using them for this attack here. So, overall, are Ed and Al good? They're very good. Their global buffs get them buffed up enough to where their damage is the top tier meta? No. And anyway, it wouldn't have mattered because we have Zidane and Final Fantasy IX coming around the corner, and those units are insane as well. So that's just how FFBE works. We know how that is now. We've known it for years. But they've been buffed enough to where their support capabilities I just showed you, their niche, awesome, cool ability where they imbue and get rid of the other imbues, it makes them a mainstay on a lot of your teams for some time to come. And if you are okay with using Earth, they're going to be doing even more damage, and so is your team, because they buffed up about 50%, which is insane. So, should you summon on this banner? I have 3 choices here. If you're an FMA fan, absolutely. You're going to get use out of them. They're going to be great. Obviously, you're going to be summoning anyway. 2, if you like that niche ability use on their Brave Shift form, if you like the fact that you can imbue and get rid of the nasty imbue without having to dispel trick or anything like that, this is the unit for you. No, if you don't give a shit about that ability, you don't care about Ed and Al, and you're saving for Final Fantasy IX, those units are going to hit really hard and do a lot of good stuff, like Zidane's LB boost there is going to be fantastic. So that is stuff you can save for, but those are the reasons why you should pull, or maybe you should not pull. I'm going to be pulling, and it actually will be happening today. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you went for Ed and Al, and how you like this, if you like Zahn or Ed and Al more when it comes to your DV setups now that they're out. Subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.